I'm a mechanical engineer at Raytheon.
I work as a database programmer in Virginia Beach.
As everybody knows, he's really fun.
She's beautiful, she's caring, she's nice.
He's fun and funny and annoying at the same time, but really sweet.
I would say I think she thinks I'm funny. I'm nice. I think she thinks I'm smart and maybe handsome.
John likes that I'm intelligent. He always mentions that.
And she's really smart.
He likes how I look, I hope.
She's beautiful.
He's a nice guy.
We met at Virginia Tech.
At Virginia Tech.
We knew each other through mutual friends.
We just met through mutual friends.
Freshman year,
No, we met as freshmen,
but really started hanging out sophomore year.
but we didn't really start hanging out until our sophomore year.
She used to part her hair in the middle, which I thought was interesting, so that made her stand out, and she also didn't have earrings when we met.
I was newly single, and I was excited. I had a sorority dance, and I needed a date for it, so I thought it might be funny to text John, his friend Bryce, and his friend Sean, and ask all three of them to the dance.
So I don't know what kind of game that was. But both my roommates said yes, and I said no.
Bryce and Sean texted back and said, yeah, sure. And I didn't hear anything from John, and I was kind of curious, so I texted him again. I was like, what, you don't want to go to my dance with me? And he was like, no, I just know what you're doing, and I know you already asked my friends.
I think she knew that I was saying no just to be different from my two roommates, maybe.
We actually later had our first kiss,
I definitely initiated the first kiss.
and that's when I said, okay, will you go to the dance with me? Just you. We never made it to the dance. John started saying I love you first, but he would only say it after he'd had beers.
I think I said I love you first, and it might have been after some drinks.
So eventually he asked me why I never said it back, and I told him that. So the next day he said I love you properly and sober.
It might have been a little early, but if I remember correctly, she said I love you back, so that's good.
I love him.
I would say I definitely knew she was the one maybe 2 years after dating, and then eventually I proposed after around 6 years of dating.
I probably knew John was the one after college when he moved down to Virginia Beach for me, even though that was not his goal, and he took that first terrible job that he really did not make him very happy, and just knowing that he was willing to do all that so that we could be together was really, I don't know, moving, thoughtful.
I would say opposites attract. We have completely different tastes in movies. Lauren loves reading.
He's an active guy.
Lauren likes fantasy. If I don't read often, but when I do, it's usually nonfiction or biographies.
I mean, we have a lot of similarities in like our family and how we were raised, but our interests and our personalities are definitely opposites.
I'm definitely the night owl, and she's the morning person.
Neither of us is a morning person.
Both of us, I think, will discipline the kids.
I'll discipline the kids.
I will handle the finances.
John will handle all the finances. I will not be allowed to touch any checkbooks, and that's for the best.
Lauren is neater.
Neither of us is very neat, but I do end up picking up more.
If we have a boy and a girl or a girl and a boy, we'd probably stop at 2. Otherwise, we'll probably go for 3. I'm not sure about 4, but we'll see.
I'd like to have ideally one of each, and then I could stop. I could just have 2, but I'd be willing to have 3 kids to try and have one of each.
I drove up to Richmond and met with both sets of Lauren's parents. We met for lunch.
I had always hoped he'd at least say something to my dad or ask permission, but I would not have imagined that he'd take them all out. It was really cool and thoughtful.
I had the ring with me, and I sat down and told them that I loved their daughter and asked for their blessing to ask her. I actually went around and asked them to do the yay or nay thing, and I got all thumbs up.
The proposal. We were at the beach on a Thursday, happy hour after work.
I had already hired a plane.
I do remember looking around and being like, there's a lot of people here, wow.
It could have been sunnier that day, She was actually kind of confused of why we were all still out there.
I was into my book, and he had to pull me out to get me to look at the sign. And I was like, hold on, let me finish this chapter. And it was really sweet. I don't even know what he said or if he said anything, because as soon as I saw the sign, I stopped listening to him.
She was really surprised, and I think it went really well.
I'd like to say thank you to my mom and dad and Cindy and Poppy, and for just supporting me through everything, for helping me get through college with no debt, for helping me get through grad school with no debt, for helping set me up in the real world.
I'd like to thank my parents for always being there for me for my whole life, supporting me in whatever I just wanted to do, setting me up to have a successful and happy life. I really appreciate you guys, and always, I love you very much.
I would never have gotten where I am without you, so I'm very thankful. And thank you for putting up with all of the wedding madness and the fact that I am terrible at budgets and cannot stick to one at all. And for everything you've done for me, thank you very much.
My name is Loser 5. Go check it out. Do you remember that day when I asked you out? Do you remember that day when I was so full of doubt? Yeah? Do you remember that day when you said yes? Do you remember that day? Do you remember that day? Oh yeah. What you gonna do? 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 Yeah, 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 yeah.